Hello guys, welcome to the installation process of your VM workstation as well as Cloudera. So I'm using a workstation for 14 Pro over here, which is a trial version. If you can get a crack version of it, you can use it. Or if you have any kind of VMware, workstations or any players, you can even use that. So here you can see the version which I am using as of now. So this is a trial version for 30 days, and I'm taking a Cloudera Quick.vm of 5.13 as my PlayStation to run on. If you click on it, you'll be getting the screen. So I am showing this how to load it. So I am opening a virtual machine file that is available for me. So I am browsing to the respective path and I'm picking the file. So if I do that, so I'll be able to select whatever Cloudera file I would like to select, and if you select that, you'll get the screen, and if you click on play, then it starts loading. So this is how you'll get the user interface. This is how you'll be getting the load file. So you can see here I'm using a CentOS. So to run these, you can either have Linux, Ubuntu, or CentOS. For me, I picked up CentOS. So it will take some time to load because all the files need to be loaded onto your virtual machine. So before it gets loaded, let's understand the basics of your Hadoop and its clusters. So assume that you have a PC and which is of having 500 TB or 500 GB of size, or 1 TB of size, where all the files on your machine will be treated in terms of blocks, memory blocks. For a PC, generally the size of a block would be 4 KB, which we have discussed earlier. And coming to HDFS, Hadoop Distributed File System, the minimum size of a block would be 64 MB. So it is comparatively very large in size with the size of a block on PC. So as we know that we are storing large amount of data. When I say cluster, there exists more than one number of devices. So if assume that we have 5 computers, each of size 1 TB, and it is having its own primary memory of 16 GB, which is a RAM size, and 1 TB of hard disk, and any kind of high processors of CPU we have. So a combination of 5 devices into a cluster, we can call it as a 5 node cluster, and the size of all the nodes that are machines in the cluster, which is 1 TB, in total we take it as 5 TB. So it's a 5 TB cluster where the data will be stored in terms of blocks again, and a memory block or memory chunk size is 64 MB as a minimum. So if you want to run or if you want to work with any kind of file, you need to load that file onto the cluster. It has to be loaded onto HDFS environment, or else we cannot perform any kind of operations on that. So in today's session, we'll see that we have already known the number of daemons that exist, which is your name node, secondary name node, task tracker, job tracker, data node. So all these will come into picture. So how to initiate them? Before that, how to load Java onto the virtual machine? We'll see all those things today. So coming to the commands, you are all aware of these basic commands in your Unix programming. So you know basic commands like ls, which is used for listing of files present in the directory, and ls-l, which is a long listing, a detailed description of all the files that exist in the directory. And you also know that mkdir, which is a command that will be used to create a directory, and rmdir, remove a directory, for removing the directory from the local directory. So we'll see the same structure, and the same command possesses the same value what it has earlier. So we'll see all those things while creating the files and while creating the directories in here also. So let's get into it. The virtual machine is ready almost to be. My virtual machine got loaded. So this is how your user interface will look like. So whatever we do, we'll be doing it on command prompt. So this is a console window where you'll be typing all the commands and getting them executed over there. So you can see this. I'm clicking on the terminal window. So this would be my terminal window and how it looks. So this is pretty easy. As I have told you, like your Unix commands, you're gonna type your command over there and you can see the result. For example, as I said, let's see ls command. So you can see the list of files and directories that exist inside. So pretty clear. If you want to clear the screen, you just type clear, everything vanishes off. So let's start and understand how it looks like. So as I told you, we can see the list of files over here, and I'm creating one new directory with the name Prakash. So here the structure of a command would be hadoop fs, which is your Hadoop file system. For the command, you're going to give the hyphen mkdir. I assume that Prakash. So once again, we are doing something under file system, and the name of folder or a directory to be created is Prakash with the command mkdir. So it will take some time, and the execution of a command is pretty dependent on your speed of RAM as well as memory that is available. So I think it's done. Let's check with the listing of files. So here in the from the files, whatever you have available with over here. Yes, so that's how it will be done. So I'm clearing everything. So if you want to install Java onto it, some commands available over here. So I'm using the same. Use this command and hit enter. So if your machine is already having Java, then it is fine. If not, it will simply install the package. So you can see this. I have already installed it. So nothing to do new. So my Java is installed on the machine. So to check whether it is installed properly or not, I am hitting this command, which will show me the version of Java that is already existing on this machine. You have seen that Java has been successfully installed on this virtual machine. Now you're going to install Hadoop. So I'm using a command wget. I'm giving the path directly over here. In Windows, generally we used to download the tar file or rar file. We'll extract the contents and they'll be installed, or we'll put it in a root directory like that. But here we are doing it directly from the server itself. So you can see the process is started. See, in general, you can find different versions of Hadoop that exist. Like in the earlier demonstrations, you have seen like Hadoop 2.7 or 2.5 like that. But here I have found out Hadoop 3.3.0. So for better understanding, let me make you clear that this is a path where you will get the exact file. If you open the link where you can get the file, if you install it through the command, it will take some estimated amount of 5 hours. So we'll try to find out some other alternative also for the installation process. So where you can download the file. So you can see I'm saving it. So I'm saving it into the local machine, that is a virtual machine. So if it gets downloaded, I'll try to show the other steps how to make the installation more easier compared to the execution of commands in the command prompt. My file got downloaded and you can see it here where you can extract the files over here. So this is one procedure how to download the Hadoop archive onto your local machine, where you can get these files and you can copy these files directly onto your root folder. If it is your Windows operating system, you can directly copy it to C drive, where here we need to place these things in the root folder. So as I told you, one thing is either you can install the same with the help of commands, or either you can install the same by simply unzipping the archive onto the root folder, and you can load the respective files. So you can see it and onto your folder that has been created with Hadoop 3.3.0. So meanwhile, I'll tell you that you can find these archives from the archive.apache.org, where you can find different kind of versions or releases that are available. So the one which we have downloaded is Hadoop 3.3.0, and here you can see that the respective files. I have downloaded this. If it is a Windows one, where you are going to get this, or in the command prompt also, you can see that we have given the same path with the file name where it is extracted. So my files are done. So they are all into my Hadoop folder. So I extracted everything. So you can see these files in this folder. This the second mode of installation. I have been opening the home directory, and you can see this file where I have simply extracted the files from here. So this can be done by simply doing this, and in this you can see all the available XML files which we have mainly used for example, if you open core site.xml, you can see I have already made the necessary changes related to the local host for the default localhost IP, and likewise we have hdfs site.xml, where you're going to depict the replication factors as well as the node details. In this you can see this, so data node and name node setup, and you have mapped site.xml, where I have given the respect to yarn value, as well as yarn site.xml, where for the services which we are going to use it here. So these are the major four files which you are going to configure during the process of XML configuration. So as I told you, this will be available under the folder etc hadoop and then the files over here. Hope you understood this. And now let's see how to set up the SSH keys. So the major advantage of or use of the SSH key setup is to start the daemons or stop the daemons and other operations that you can do on it. So for that you're going to use the following command. So I'm generating a key. So it is asking me to enter the file name where I can save the key safely. So I'm giving it a name, my key dbp. So this is the name of my key. So it is asking me to enter the paraphrase. So I'm giving the same my key dbp as a paraphrase. It is asking me to give the same again, my key dbp, all the small letters. So here you go, a file has been successfully created. So you can see here it has been stored safely inside this key, my key dbp.pub. So let's see here whether the files are existing or not, and you can find it. I have already created this key earlier. Now you can see this key, my key dbp.pub. Now let's see what exists inside that. So my key dbp.pub. So I'm hitting enter. So you can see some a value which is an encrypted value that exists inside that. So this is how you can create your SSH key for further operations on the daemons.